Hey there, this is Michael, co-founder of UCAT, and in this video I want to take you through the timeline as to when you should be doing what, so that you can maximize your chances of getting into medicine or dentistry with every feature we have on the UCAT Pro course. So you can see in front of me, there is a document which I will be attaching so you can download for yourself to refer to. But going through the document, you can see that's organized into 5 segments, and each of the segments refers to a particular month of the year. So this is where you are right now, and until August, you will be doing certain activities that will help you make the most out of what we're going to be doing from August onwards, etc., etc., etc. There's a really particularly good reason as to why we organized it in this timeline, however, which we'll explain soon. But this particular document just talks about the UCAT side of things. So when we're looking at the UCAT course, it contains these regular UCAT progress classes, hour and a half. So during the term, school term, there will be classes every fortnight, okay, on a Sunday morning, 10 a.m. AEST time. And during the holidays, wherever they may be, they will be occurring on a weekly basis. But these classes are there in order to make sure that as you go through our online course, which contains the entire curriculum and the best order of what we want you to do, that you're able to learn, okay, in a personalized manner through these regular classes, so that you're able to troubleshoot and understand exactly what issues may still be causing you to be delayed in your speed as well as accuracy. So the idea here is that these classes should coincide pretty much with your progress as you proceed through the UCAT online course, and give you a lot of structure and a lot of opportunities to refine each of these processes that you're learning as you go through the online course much quicker. So think about these regular classes as a timeline of what at least you should, where you at least should be up to by a certain point in time. Right, so this will be a core part of your schedule. These classes, just for your understanding, will be recorded so that on the off Sunday that you can't make them live, and these will be webinar based, they will be recorded for your viewing later on. So, don't worry too much about that. But this will be a very, very good timeline, and we will be having 37 classes in total, okay, to take you from here to here, including the extra classes for exam reviews. So think of them as progress checks, think of them as places you consolidate knowledge, think of them as places you troubleshoot so that you can take yourself to the next level of expertise. The UCAT online course continues, and you can see that right now, as soon as you have purchased the course, you can actually utilize the UCAT online course. And my suggestion to you right now is that before we hit August, and specifically August 9th is our first 1.5 hour regular UCAT progress class, you start on the UCAT online course. Simply start from the very beginning of the course and go through the course in order. You'll find that the lessons are locked, and the only way to unlock them, okay, really is to finish the previous lesson. Make sure to go through everything extremely thoroughly and in the order we want you to. Don't skip anything. See, a lot of students skip things, and then 6-7 months down the track, they ask us questions that they should have had answers to if they didn't skip things. Frankly, it's just a waste of time. We've carefully designed this course to make sure it matches everything in the best order for you to be as efficient as possible. So right now, my recommendation is actually, all courses organized into section 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Focus on section 1. Try to do as much of it as you can. You do not need to master it, but that means by learning the course content and by trying to refine your techniques, you will basically come to the first 1.5 hour regular UCAT progress class, which focuses on section 1 with already some issues and problems, as well as a better appreciation of the way that you should be studying UCAT, which is different to every other subject you do at school or university. So chip away at the course and start utilizing our features such as getting personal feedback. Okay, you also want to participate in the worksheets that we give out, for example, the solutions review worksheet, okay, and things like the glossary, as well as other things such as conditioning. which will all be explained later on. But the main point is by the time you get up to here, you don't need to master it, but you need to be in the right mindset and you got to be hungry to want to improve because of whatever issues you experience here. And the thing with UCAT is that everyone's a little bit different when it comes to how you learn things. And as a result, okay, everyone's weaknesses and strengths differ as you go through different sections. But most people do struggle with section 1, if anything, the most due to its complexity. And once you start here, according to the schedule of our class, which you can also download in the comments below, you can also see where you should be at. And we will definitely try to help you master a section at a time before you move on to the other one. And that's a key thing about our course. You do not move on to section 2 unless section 1 is mastered. You do not move on to section 3 unless section 2 is mastered, etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, if you don't master anything, you just be mediocre at everything. And in fact, if you learn the methods to master a section really, really well, that way of learning helps you learn the next section. All right. So as you go through this, you'll see what I mean. But for example, in August and September, we'll be focusing on section 1. And then from onwards, October, we'll be focusing on different parts of section 2, etc., etc., etc. All right. So when you come to December, you should be more or less somewhere in the middle of section 2, according to the schedule, okay, of the regular classes. That's when, in December, we'll have our first UCAT Masterclass 1. And our first UCAT Masterclass 1 is a 2-day intensive masterclass to really teach you everything, all the question types available in the most recent exam. And that's when, for the topics that you've done before, there will be more or less a final review, but for the topics that you haven't learned yet, that will be a very nice way to jumpstart your preparation, to learn them really, really intensively and really quickly, so that for the remainder of the summer break, you can actually try to finish them as much as you can. So the goal really for 2021 candidates is to, as much as you can, finish the course, or finish preparation by the 28th of Jan, okay, which is pretty much the start of Feb anyway. Imagine the 28th of Jan to be when you're going to sit your UCAT. That's always a good thing to do. And I've never ever been told of a person who regretted this decision and trying as much as they can during the summer break to finish UCAT. And that's because the summer break is when you're less distracted, and for the same effort and time you put into prep, you actually get a lot more out of it. So this will be extremely, extremely, extremely useful if you can finish then, because once you start the final year of maybe high school or university, wherever you may be, the time you have to dedicate to UCAT exponentially decreases. Why? You've got tests, you've got assignments, you've got all these things that you've got to worry about. You've got to go to school now. You've got other responsibilities, maybe extracurricular, voluntary work. You may have even, leadership roles if that's what you're doing. So frankly, the quality of the time that you have to study UCAT and the actual time you have drastically decreases. And I've only heard students who wished they put more effort in the December-February break. So from now to August, it was more about warming yourself up to section 1 so that you're ready to rumble in August. And from August to December is a calm, collected progress in terms of how you go through the topics or the question types we're focusing on. December is where you go all out and really try to finish as much of the course as possible at a level where you have mastered each, meaning 100% accuracy and 100% speed. That's what we mean by mastered, not just, yeah, I think I can do it. No, you need to be top notch. And that's when we get a lot of discussions with top students. And frankly, if you finish the UCAT by then, it will mean that February till July, that will just be a lot of touch-ups, reviews, mock exams. And then from July to the exams, that's when we can actually work much closely together. Well, really, you can work with us anytime throughout this period. We do have unlimited one-on-one 24-hour support, which means that you can email us anytime you like. You can Facebook us if you're on Facebook. You can contact us as much as you like, and our details will be in this, in the comments below. But most importantly, okay, you can leave questions, okay, at the bottom of every single lesson in the online course, and our team will get back to you guaranteed within 24 hours. Okay, you can do as many of these as you can. Don't be shy. You really want us to be part of your preparation. So what that means is that by the time you reach February or the start of February, you're pretty much, if not finished, 80-90% of the way. Feb to July then becomes really straightforward. I would say that the next golden period will be the April holidays, okay? But during that time, usually people spend a lot of that April season catching up already on term one work. But really, you need to start dedicating more time for reviewing your UCAT progress. And come July, it's all about exam strategies. And the strategies we'll be teaching you, frankly, won't work if you're not good at the questions. No matter what awesome strategy, okay, we give you, if you still can't answer questions, you cannot capitalize on these strategies. And that's when we also have the UCAT Masterclass 2, right? And the UCAT Masterclass 2 focuses on teaching the exam strategies so that at this time you can actually make the most out of the mock exams that we have in our course. And for you, there will be 5 mock exams of the ICAMED ones. And there will also be 4 mock exams that you can access for free, okay, via the official UCAT website. Okay, official website. 9 mock exam is more than enough. Last year, most of our students did around 3 to 4. But with the proper strategy in how you learn things and get ready for the mock exams, what you're really refining by the mock exam time isn't any basic competency issues that you should have done from here to here. It really should be just fine-tuning your exam strategies. So that's really how you organize everything so that you get the maximum benefit. And during these times, we'll be holding parent progress updates. So if your parents are concerned about what they should be helping out with, we'll be holding these every quarter, okay, to update them on, what the plan is as well. So hopefully for UCAT, that's pretty obvious. But right now, it's just about warming yourself up and getting used to it. A few other things I want to talk about. The other thing is this. You still got interviews. And interviews form a huge part, okay, of getting into med school. And in fact, a lot of the times, your interviews are worth as much as your ATAR. Okay. Likewise, the UCAT is also worth as much as your ATAR, but interviews more so, because interviews are typically really short. Okay, so they're typically anything from 30 minutes to, generally speaking, around an hour. But if it's worth the same as your ATAR, it kind of means that if you're, let's say, for argument's sake, doing 5 year 12 subjects, 5 subjects that contributes to your ATAR, 30 minutes divided by 5 means that 6 minutes of the interview, right, is actually worth the same as 1 yearly subject. And a lot of people don't recognize this. And as a result, people prepare very, very late for interviews. And the way we want you to prepare isn't to write, essays for every single question that you've heard of before, because the trend right now is that they don't actually repeat questions, really. Okay, the only 2 questions they repeat is why do you want to become a doctor and why this med school? But for every other question, okay, is not guaranteed. And sometimes it's about your past experiences, past failures. Sometimes it may be about a scenario question. There may be even acting stations where you have to directly converse and interact with the actor to demonstrate the traits that you exhibit, and the interviewers can therefore determine whether you're suitable for medicine or not. So really the point of the interview is to look at your suitability, to see the kind of responses you give, and from that, extract your qualities. It's a quality matching process. So with interviews, you really need to think about, well, when I'm going to start preparing for interviews? Well, you're not going to do it here. You're definitely not going to do it here. And if you think about from August in 2021 to pretty much October or November 2021, you don't actually have any time because you'll be focusing on your final exams. And the first interviews typically start in late November. That's why a lot of people only have around a week or 2 to prepare for an interview that is worth everything, okay, that they would have put into their ATAR. So what you really want to start doing with interview prep is to go through module 1 and 2 of the interview online course, and you can find that through looking at the dashboard when you log into your account, My Courses. If you click on that particular segment of your dashboard, it will take you to all the other courses that are available, such as your UCAT, such as your interview course, such as your medical application course and study pro course, right? So focus on module 1 and 2, and at the end of module 2, there is a worksheet that we call content creation worksheet. If you can get this worksheet completed by around September, it would be an absolutely massive advantage. The worksheet focuses on you actually describing and defining, chucking in examples, and also explaining the benefits and functions of having certain traits that medical schools look for. So this is essentially the core of where your content will be developed. And depending on how well you develop your content, that will influence the quality and the scoreability of your answers. So it's extremely important. So that's for interviews as well. And it takes a lot of time and reflection. Typically speaking, students sent me anywhere between 8,000 to 10,000 words, okay, for me to review. So it's not a simple thing, but it will put you miles ahead for interview prep. And honestly, by the time you finish your final exams in maybe early or mid-November, and then you've got your 2 weeks before your first interviews, provided that you've got this content creation worksheet sorted now, the time that you have then is enough for you to bump up your other skills to answer questions flawlessly. Okay, so worry about that then. But if you can actually get the content creation worksheet finished by September in 2020, that would be absolutely amazing. And from September onwards, you probably just want to focus on your exams anyway. Finally, the other thing I want to talk to you about, Study Pro Course. Right, so the Study Pro course is actually designed to increase the ceiling, okay, of your ability to study, of study techniques. See, the biggest thing that I get told is that at year 12 or university, it's not so much the content is exponentially harder, it's more like there is exponentially more content. So the volume of it is what gets to people, right? So there's some really, really smart Study Pro strategies in this course that help you maximize your efficiency. And we have students who in the past have credited this course to help them really achieve 99.95 ATAR with a fraction of the time they spent studying as to what they would beforehand. Okay, so it's a massive thing that you got to deal with. So really what you're doing right now with the course is to warm yourself up to section 1 type questions, start on the content creation worksheet and chip away on it, and also focus on the Study Pro course. And if anything, I would want you to get this one sussed out first. Complete this course. It's not a big course, but this course will really help you find your current weaknesses in your study. So if you're in year 11, apply all these methodologies and techniques to your current courses so that you spend the rest of the year maximizing the efficiency of your techniques, so that come year 12, it will be much more of a breeze. So that's actually really, really important. Study Pro course. You can't really do that in year 12, not enough time. You have to learn it and then get really good over time in using these techniques. So hopefully this is really, really clear as to what you need to do. But on top of this, after you do some interview prep, and especially when you get started on content creation worksheet, you got to think about some voluntary work. So right now it's not compulsory for you to do voluntary work, but there are universities that do ask you about it from time to time. Voluntary work isn't done to build a massive CV. Okay, it's not for that purpose, because you'll never be able to submit a CV to a medical school in New Zealand, Australia. Like, this doesn't happen. It's an overseas thing for UK medical school selection processes and US medical school selection processes. You will never be able to send them a massive list of what you've achieved. In fact, the voluntary work that you should really do should be something that you are passionate about, but more importantly, something that helps you build the right traits that medical schools look for, right, in you, which will help you develop better and more rich, diverse, quality content on your worksheet. So you really have to focus on voluntary work now, so that during your year 12 year or university year from 2021 onwards, it's not a big part of your commitment to the daily grind or the weekly grind of your already very packed schedule. All right, so hopefully, that makes a lot of sense. Feel free to ask me as many questions as you like. But really, deadline number one, finish UCAT prep by the 1st of, January the 28th. Second, start warming yourself up to UCAT so that you can take advantage of these regular classes as you work through an online course, so that you can also make sure Masterclass 1 gives you everything you need to actually finish your preparation by the end of the summer break. Unlimited one-on-one support is always there. Talk to us anytime you like. Start on interview preparation by looking through module 1 and 2. Start on the content creation worksheet and solidify that with voluntary work experiences that helps you build the right skills you need to talk about in the interviews. And use the UCAT Pro course to really raise the ceiling of your current study techniques. And for the rest of the year, whether it's 6 months, by the time you're watching this video, or 5 months, 4 months, you still have plenty of opportunities to get really good at studying so that next year will be more of a breeze, right? So this covers everything. Hopefully it's helped you understand a little bit more of how you should be using this course. And anytime questions, feel free to hit us up. Thanks for your time.